All right, time for a different kind of video because this has been a while and hopefully this take of it won't be interrupted by a message that will turn the camera off automatically. I've decided tentatively to call this Three's a Crowd. I know I mentioned this to Peter Miller probably about a month ago that I might do a video something like this, but I've been busy with a couple of other things in the meantime or since then. So, personally, I've noticed that going back a few months when I was trying to play through three different projects simultaneously, I was just finding that to be a little much. I felt that I wasn't advancing or progressing through those seasons or replays, campaigns as quickly as I wanted to. And so, unofficially, because I did end up playing one game of this in the middle of May, and I just feel like as well, like I don't necessarily want to, and even this is I'm going to talk about this unofficially. I'm not saying that I have officially left the project behind or anything like that, but um, because if I'm in the mood to play it, I'll play it. It's as simple as that. But from about the end of April, I really, in the 6 or 7 weeks since then, I've only played one total game of my 1924-25 NHL season replay. I think I left that project at a really good point, actually. I had gone from basically all the late fall, early winter games right up into the new year. So I'm about just over a third of the way through the regular season part of that replay anyway. And because I started that one a little later, that one came a little after the Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey Redemption League project, and then also the one with Hockey Bones involves a handful of other people. My ongoing project with that at the moment, so I certainly don't want to hit the pause button on that and put that one on delay for long term. So really, when it came down to it, the logical one to leave behind was the 24-25 NHL season replay. And that is one that I do fully intend to pick up and play again. I'm wondering if I said that in this take already earlier or in the take that was just when the camera got shut off by the message. But anyway, not all text messages do that. Only ones coming from the government or local health authority or whatever with the whole contact tracing that goes on over here. They're basically simply like, if you were here at this time and in this place, in this district, then anyway, but that doesn't apply to me at the moment, nor have they ever, um, luckily. So anyway, back to the Three's a Crowd thing. I guess another reason why I wanted to do this video was, hopefully maybe get a little feedback. Um, this kind of plays off actually the topic of the most recent episode of Digital to Dice, How Long is Too Long? So basically what I'm asking here is, how many is too many? And as they would say, as they've said in many an episode of Digital to Dice, I feel like there is no right or wrong answer to this question. But if anyone, wants to, feel free to chime in and let me know what you think about this. Because I know, again, when I started, when I got back into this hobby a couple of years ago, feels like it's been longer, but it's only been a couple of years, really, after decades away from it. I was just doing one project at a time. And I started with Paradise Hockey, and then I moved on to Shootout and did Roberto Chavini's Kill the Power Play. And what came after that? Doesn't matter. Anyway, it something. The Hockey Bones, actually, I think some of the 66-67 replay, but condensed season for that one. But yeah, how many is too many? So at that time, I was just doing one ongoing project simultaneously. And then I decided, and I still do really like two, I think, as a number of, concurrent projects over three. Again, three, maybe if my schedule was different, I had a little more time that I could give to this so that I would feel like I was getting somewhere with those projects a little more quickly. But like, for instance, with the Mike Owens Redemption League replay, uh, it surprised me a little bit to see that there were videos for that going back to the month of January, and we are now in June. I know, like with the Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey game last year in the fall, in the late fall, I got through an entire 1946-47 NHL season. It's 40, yeah, it's 46-47, including playoffs and everything, and then even a post-playoffs best-of-7 with two of the teams that I wanted to see meet in the playoffs but didn't. I did that all in barely a month. That was like a month and a half. And I thought about that, and I thought about the difference. And I know that turning on the camera and talking about it, that does add time to the project. And I wasn't doing that last year in the fall. So that was one thing. And then I think the other was simply that the NHL was in a pandemic pause at the time. So I wasn't watching hockey because, of course, my free time when I'm not doing this and I'm not playing these games, watching hockey, takes up another significant portion of said free time. So how many is too many? Because for me, I guess what I've realized here is that, and even though I mean that does mean less variety, and I realize too that for the sake of the channel, yeah, I've been told in the past actually, and that's not why I'm doing this. I'm not just trying to, purposefully people please or anything like that. I've wanted to do a little topic discussion video like this for a little while. Again, sort of, if I didn't say it already in this take, sort of a not very produced version, my own not very produced version of an episode of Digital to Dice, we can call it. And of course, for you guys, again, if you want to do something similar, which you've already kind of done with the How Long Is Too Long, but that's length of game. This is, how many ongoing projects simultaneously. And again, I think that it works differently for everybody. I like, in fact, what Al Red Sox fan, when he talks about being squirrely, he'll say things like, I'm squirrely, I'm too squirrely. And so he jumps back and forth between umpteen number of projects that he might not even have an exact count on himself. And that really appears to work for him. And that, that's fantastic. And I think that's fantastic for the viewer as well. They get to tune in and see something a little different every single time. And I don't know, maybe to benefit me in terms of numbers on this channel, if I was showing off a new hockey game every week and announcing some new project every time. But I just, I have to be myself. And I've had enough time doing that as it is. And just for, reasons, social anxiety, self-consciousness, whatever. But it's not really something. It's not something that I intend to do. Plus, actually, logistically or whatever, in my circumstances that I'm in, I have a highly unmailable address, and that's been borne out over the years by having like wedding anniversary gifts gone missing in the mail and anniversary cards, not just for wedding anniversary, but other anniversary cards and stuff as well. That I basically just tell people, family and stuff back home, don't mail anything to me. Snail mail, not an option. Um, uh, yeah, so. So what I mean by that is that to order that big shiny game in the box through the mail. um I have my copy of Hockey Blast, and this actually will play into a video that I want to that I've another video that I want to do, but I have a copy of Hockey Blast sitting in Canada right now with family because I didn't want to order it here. you know the risk involved. I just don't want to shell out that kind of money for something that ultimately may never arrive. Um, so I guess what I'm adding to it then is that limits my options, sort of what I can PDF, what I can buy in PDF, and go to a print shop here and then be able to print and play. That's kind of what I'm limited to for my gaming. And there is a great variety within that, and I really enjoy exploring that variety. But yeah, how many is too many? Because I have found, that three is a crowd, and so I guess to add a little more content, I guess, to this whiteboard. So right now for me, that is the Redemption League, and I just decided I really kind of want to, push forward or plow forward with that one. Again, not that I'm enjoying any of these any less. They all, like, I get in the mood to play these games, and I don't like doing the hierarchy thing. Like, my favorite is this, and my second favorite is that. I have said, like, I do have a favorite. I have two titles basically for hockey games. I have a favorite hockey game, and then I have a game that I award a title of most underrated to. And I should actually, if I have time, I should double check the time. But if I have time, I will come back, and I want to do a little video about said game as well. But the Redemption League with I guess we'll say, Mike Owens, his game, his hockey, his quick play hockey game. He has another hockey game that I've yet to play. And of course, we'll say the F6HL, the fictional six hockey league for the 0405 season with Hockey Bones. So these are sort of my two, projects right now, ongoing at the moment simultaneously. And when I finish those, rather than do another project, some colorful project rollout like I have done for the others, I will immediately, once one of these is done, I am going to immediately resume. So again, it's not for not liking it, or liking it any less even, but I'm going to, with I'm going to resume this replay. And again, it will mostly be with the game Blue Zone Hockey. Simply, I can get through it in a more reasonable amount of time with that game. But marquee games, definitely the championship, the Stanley Cup, the official Stanley Cup, which back then was played between the best team in the NHL, back in the 1920s, between the best team in the NHL against the best team somewhere in North America outside the NHL. So in 24-25, in that case, it was Montreal versus Victoria. But one of the reasons why I want to replay this season is to see if Hamilton, the Hamilton Tigers, because they did actually finish first overall in the NHL that season before going on strike, can they in fact supersede the Montreal Canadiens and be able to play the Victoria Cougars in a best of seven? I have to play through the season in order to find that out. So, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to check in and update. And I guess just in case anyone, if you happen to see this, if you were curious, like why is this game, why are these games, why is this season no longer being played on Hockey Unreal? I certainly, I've not forgotten about it, and it's not that I've lost interest in it at all. It's just that I felt like when I had three ongoing, once again, to just recap, I felt like when I had all three of these going on at the same time, I wasn't progressing through any of them at the rate that I wanted to. And so I decided that I had to leave one behind. And because this one I started before this one, and then also this one here involves a handful of other people. So if I put this one on hold, then I'm putting everyone else on hold. And, people that I sort of, roped into it and got, took up a lot of their time drafting players and things like that, and then suddenly to do all that just to put this one on hold for a little while, it doesn't really seem fair to them. So for those reasons, because I really never do anything for one reason only, I just decided that this is the one here to hit the pause button on for the time being. So, but how do you? Once again, I want to get back to this. I'd like to hopefully get something kind of a little bit interactive going with something like this. So, how do you feel about this? How many is too many for you? How many projects do you have ongoing right now simultaneously? How many different sports? Again, I keep it really simple. I might have said this before. It's not that I don't necessarily like other sports. I mean, I don't follow other sports. Even fighting. I mean, I was a bit of a fight fan at one time. I like that even better than hockey, but it's been a little while even for that. So, I guess simply comes down to there are only 24 hours in a day, and so I sort of devote myself, my free time, and my sports fandom pretty exclusively to hockey. It's what I know better than certainly the other major league sports or whatever, but it's not that I don't enjoy those as well. I do enjoy checking out some different things on occasion, and I find I can even be informed and inspired by checking out stuff that's even kind of radically different than this on occasion. You never know where that inspiration is going to come from, certainly if you keep an open mind. Anyway, with that said, I think 13 minutes is definitely more than long enough for a video like this. So, yeah, this is me doing a different type of video for the first time in a little while. So cheers, thanks, and bye for now.